What is good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the Nintendo Switch and Gaming news video. So sorry about the ARMS live stream that I had recently. I know what happened. It was my fiance. She was watching like Netflix or something like that while I was trying to stream, and it was completely like bodying my stream, and I didn't know, and obviously she didn't know that it would affect it. So sorry about that, guys. I'll make sure next time that doesn't happen. So I'm probably going to have a live stream at some point today or this weekend, so just keep an eye out on Twitter. Follow me there just to make sure that you keep up to date with all the latest. When I'm about to go live with the live stream, I'll make sure to let you guys know. But I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more chill. Probably going to be playing a single player game, hanging out and answering some of you guys' questions or something like that, or maybe even a PlayerEssence cross Nintendo. So we'll figure it out, but yeah, definitely won't happen again. And thank you to everyone who struggled through the stream just like I did. Now let's go ahead and move into this news here. So in Japan, the Nintendo Switch has hit 1 million units sold, which is awesome, right? So Nintendo has officially sold 1 million units of the Nintendo Switch in Japan, and it took the company 16 weeks to hit the goal. Now, here's the one thing about this, that this is from last week, so obviously it's already over it at this point. So it's from the Media Create, and also Dengeki and other places kind of had it hitting 1 million units, I think maybe even 2 weeks ago or something like that, because not every single place tracks it accurately. Either way, we know that it's over 1 million units pretty much in all the different sales trackers here. And if you compare it to like the same time period with the Wii and the Wii U, the Wii was at 1.85 million units and the Wii U was at 820,000 units. So it's kind of a little bit stacked in between there. Obviously the Wii had a lot more stock because Nintendo has been selling every single bit of stock that they get in Japan. There's not Nintendo Switches just laying around out there. And it's funny because people were accusing Nintendo of actually holding back stock and manually trying to spark up demand by holding back units and things like that, even with the Wii. And if you compare 1.85, and even at this point they're having component shortages and problems with stock. But of course Nintendo has pretty much said that they're going to increase production. June and July should be a lot better. We saw a 10,000 unit increase as far as sales go from last week, from the previous week, and we should see more as we get closer and closer to Splatoon. I'm pretty sure Nintendo knows that Splatoon 2 is going to be huge in Japan in addition to worldwide. So they're going to have extra units out in addition to that Splatoon 2 bundle. So we should see better sales across the board, and hopefully Nintendo can ramp up that production. That is easily the most important thing at this point. But congrats to Nintendo. What they're doing is working. The strategy that they've laid out is selling. They're outselling the Wii U by a pretty good amount. They've got great software that's outselling what the software that was available for the Wii U in the same time period. So I can't fault them for that. They just got to keep on pushing and seeing what they can do in order to get enough stock out there for people to be able to enjoy the games that they have coming this year. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Reggie Fils-Aime has talked about a lot of different things, from the Animal Crossing app that's still going to be coming at some point, and also saying that, quote, from Reggie Fils-Aime, Nintendo of America President and COO, more to be announced regarding Nintendo Switch's 2017 lineup. So Nintendo is definitely going to have more out there because a lot of people were really upset and frustrated and angry, all of the range of emotions of video gaming, right? People were really all of that basically after E3 because they felt that Nintendo didn't have enough third party or didn't have enough announcements outside of other things. However, we're still going to get more announcements for different things just because there was a lot of games that were kind of no-shows that Nintendo has talked about before, similar to stuff like Project Octopath. Where was that game at? We also had stuff like Payday. That was nowhere to be found at all as far as E3 goes. So I definitely think that Nintendo's going to have some type of pre-holiday direct or direct in a couple months after a few more games have been released. I would guess after the summer, because the summer is pretty stacked with great games, whether you're in Japan or you're in the West. Japan gets Monster Hunter Double Cross, we get Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, so that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool, right? So the summer is really good. Plus there's Pokken Tournament. I mean, there's just so much great stuff. ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and Pokken Tournament. All those games back to back for the next 4 months. So I'm thinking after that, that's when Nintendo's going to have some type of direct announcing when we're going to get the release dates for stuff like Fire Emblem Warriors and Xenoblade 2. I also think we're going to see release date for like Skyrim and some of the other stuff as far as third-party developers go. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I think Reggie knows what they're doing, Nintendo knows what they're doing when it comes to the lineup, and we'll have more announcements as far as new games, because for, once again, I like to say this, people like to sit there and act like it's not true, but Nintendo is not the same type of company of Microsoft and Sony when it comes to announcing everything that they have at E3 or almost all of that. They have Nintendo Directs, and I definitely think there's going to be a Nintendo Direct talking about more stuff, especially Project Octopath. I think that's one of the more intriguing games that didn't get talked about at E3, which I didn't expect it to, but still Nintendo can still detail that game more. That's from the Bravely Default developers. So see what happens with that game and kind of where Nintendo goes with the Nintendo Directs. Alright, and moving on to the last article here, Xenoblade 2 interview with Tetsuya Takahashi, who is the director for Monolith Soft. And this was a very interesting interview. Takahashi-san went over so many different things. It was from a French interview, and it was translated the Xenoblade Chronicles X forums on Reddit. So I'm going to go over a couple of the different things that I thought was interesting. Now, there's going to be a bunch of information that you can check on your own. Make sure you read the interview. I think it's really good, especially if you're a Xeno fan like me. I've been a big fan for a long time of Takahashi-san's work. And Monolith Soft is obviously like my favorite company as far as subsidiary of Nintendo. Monolith Soft does so many great things for the company. They give them credibility when it comes to the big RPG realm, because it's really like a relic, right? We don't see as many games out there. Nintendo definitely, especially with the Wii U, they decided to go away from the type of games that I like. So I'm so happy and I'm glad that we're seeing a lot more RPGs being announced and stuff like this. And in year one, we're getting Xenoblade. To me, that's already a win-win situation. But let's get into this interview here with Game Cult. So here is the first question that Game Cult posed to Takahashi-san in this interview. First, Xenoblade came out almost 7 years ago. At the time of this interview, what memories do you keep of it? Takahashi-san replied with Xenoblade, and then he thought for a bit. It was the first major title we made as a subsidiary of Nintendo, and for me, it's a project where we were able to pursue to the end until it satisfied us. As a result, it was a very memorable game to me. Was Xenoblade 2 in development for Wii U before moving to Switch? And what lessons did you learn with the development of Xenoblade Chronicles X? Quote from Takahashi-san. It was a Switch exclusive from the beginning. As you know, Xenoblade Chronicles X was made to be an open world game, and we mostly learned the cost of this kind of project, and then they laughed about that. By applying the acquired knowledge to a more linear experience, we had a better idea when it came to resource management, but also for optimization, and all the little details that allow us to better understand the magnitude of this world. And what he said there is very important. I'm definitely going to intervene real quick because I want to talk about this. He said that basically for management and optimization, not having to worry about the type of world that they were doing as far as what Xenoblade Chronicles X was, and moving it to a more focused linear path, however having that open space in there. So that's very important, and I really like that, because sometimes it just seems like in Xenoblade Chronicles X, while it's a great game, it's just kind of out there. There's not, as far as the story and the path of what you saw in this first Xenoblade. It's just kind of like, okay, well, it's just the open world and you go out there and play, which is cool. A lot of people really like that. I really like that, but I know a lot of people were upset that it wasn't more like Xenoblade, the original. So I think taking away some of that as far as what they did with Xenoblade Chronicles X and applying that into what they did with Xenoblade Chronicles and putting that into Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a much better path for them to take. So I really like that. Now let's get on to the next question here. Did you also alter the UI, particularly bloated in the previous episode? Quote from Takahashi-san, since the Switch has 4 face buttons on each Joy-Con, we sought to make the control system more accessible and intuitive so you could realize actions without having to think about it. At least that's what we're striving for. We also have it planned to include touchscreen elements. Next question, should we assume there will be data packs like in Xenoblade Chronicles X? And Takahashi-san says, no, nothing like that is planned right now. Now, another thing that I want to also say is that there will be no multiplayer, because they did ask him, hey, is there multiplayer planned? He said, no, nothing planned there. So I want to talk about this, because you guys know, I'm a big Xenoblade Chronicles fan, big Xenoblade fan in general, big Xenosaga, Xenogears. I've been replaying some of those. Fantastic games, really, really good games. and I'm so mad that I didn't play them at the time that they were released, because I know I would have really enjoyed them over the summers when I was a kid and there was not as much to do. So what I want to stress about this as far as Xenoblade and what Nintendo's doing with this game is that the fact that they're moving over as far as trusting Monolith Soft to make this type of big game at the launch of the Nintendo Switch. A lot has been said as far as people talking about certain things, but to me the most important thing is to have these big RPGs in year one. To me, that was so vital, in my opinion, for the Wii U, and the Wii U just did not get that. We did not get big RPGs. We did not get Monolith Soft's project until the late 2015, years after it was shown off. I think that was a big no-no, but with this time, we're getting it in year one. Year one, plus we have great Square Enix support. I Am Setsuna, Project Octopath, like I talked about before. Lost Sphere has also been announced for early 2018. So I'm liking the fact that there's initiative to actually bring these RPGs over, and especially with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because this game is going to be, in my opinion, could be the best Xeno game out there. It definitely could be. But he did share one more interesting thing that I wanted to talk about, where he said, and the question more like it was, is there any plans for them to go back for the Xeno Saga? And then here was what his answer was as far as Takahashi said. He said, if someone financed it, certainly, then laughs. And they've talked about this before, right? Them wanting to finish it, because it was originally planned to be 6 episodes. Well, we only got 3 of those, but nobody's willing to fund it at this point, whether it's Bandai Namco or Nintendo. They're kind of just going with the Xenoblade series. So we'll see if it actually ever ends up happening. I would love to see a Xenosaga collection, HD collection on the Nintendo Switch. That would be amazing, but I doubt Nintendo or Bandai Namco or anyone would really fund that. But who knows? I guess crazier things have happened, right? So let me know what you guys think about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Are you excited for this game as a fall 2017 or holiday release window? So I'm looking forward to playing this in year one on the Switch. No data packs, no installing or anything like that. We have seamless transitions from Titans, which he also said. So a lot of great stuff, and I'm looking forward to what Takahashi-san has in store for us with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on all of our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier, be entered in to win some awesome prizes. In addition to Discord voice chat for our live streams and $10 prized eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon, and so much more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you ninja for the next video. Peace!